My name is Adriana Cole. I'm 33 years old. And 2 years ago, my mother erased me from her life over a single signature, not a fight, not a scandal. Just one document I refused to sign. She didn't call. She didn't ask why. She sent me 8 words. You're no longer part of this family. Goodbye. And then everyone else followed. My brother, my aunt, even my cousin, who used to sleep in my room during summers. Every single one of them. All because I said no. But here's the part no one saw coming. 2 years later, she came back. Not because she missed me. Not because she loved me. She came back because she needed something only I could give her. And when I answered with 4 words, her entire plan collapsed. Before I take you back to that day, you need to understand something about my grandfather. His name was Leonard Cole. He wasn't rich. He wasn't powerful, but he paid attention to everything. He noticed who showed up when things were hard, and who only appeared when there was something to gain. When I was 30, he got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, late stage. The kind doctors don't sugarcoat. 3 to 6 months, maybe less, my mother cried. My brother sent a long message in the family group chat. Stay strong, Dad. We're all here. But they weren't. Not really. They visited once, twice at most. I was there almost every day. I brought groceries. Sat with him during chemo. Listened when he couldn't sleep at night. Not because I was trying to prove anything, but because he was the only person in my family who ever loved me without conditions. 4 days before he died, he asked me to sit down. His voice was weak, but his grip was strong. I handled something for you, he said. Don't let them take it. I didn't understand. I thought he meant something sentimental. A watch. Old photos. Maybe the house. I smiled, kissed his forehead, and told him not to worry. He passed away that Friday morning. I was holding his hand. Everything changed 2 weeks later. The will reading. We sat in a quiet office. My mother, my brother Ethan, my aunt Carol, and me. The lawyer opened the folder. Read through the formalities. Then he got to the part that mattered. The primary asset, he paused, is to be transferred entirely to Adriana Cole. Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. What asset? My mother asked. The commercial property on 8th Street. Her face changed instantly. Because that building was everything. It was a 3-story property in the center of town. Shops on the 1st floor. Offices above. And one thing most people didn't know. It had just been reevaluated. Worth over $900,000, maybe more. My mother leaned forward. That's not correct. The lawyer didn't even look up. It is, but I'm his daughter, and Ms. Cole is the named beneficiary. My brother laughed. Actually laughed. This is a mistake. It is not. That's when I realized something. They weren't shocked because they lost something. They were shocked because they thought it was already theirs. The car ride home was quiet. Too quiet. Then my mother spoke. We'll sort this out. Sort what out? It's family property. No, I said. It's his property. And he left it to me. She didn't answer, but I saw it. That look, the same one she used when I was a kid and didn't obey immediately. At first it was subtle. Little comments. You don't understand how to manage something like this. Ethan could help you. You don't want that responsibility. Then it shifted. You should transfer it. It's the right thing to do. For the family. That phrase again. For the family. Always for the family. Never for me. A month later, my mother invited me to dinner. Said it was important. I went. Because a part of me still believed this could be handled calmly. That we could talk like adults. I was wrong. The table was already set when I arrived. My brother was there. My aunt too. And a folder, right in the center. Waiting. We've made things easier for you, my mother said. I didn't sit down. What is this? Transfer documents. Transfer to who? She looked at me like the answer was obvious. To me. I laughed. I couldn't help it. You're serious? Ethan leaned back in his chair. You don't need that building, Adriana. And you do? It belongs in the family. I am the family. That's when the tone changed. Fast. Sharp. You're being selfish, my aunt snapped. After everything your mother's done for you. I looked at her. What exactly has she done for me? Silence. Because they didn't have an answer. My mother pushed the folder toward me. Sign it. No, please. No discussion. Just a command. And for a second, I almost did. Because that's who I had always been. The one who avoids conflict. The one who keeps peace. The one who says yes. But then I remembered his voice. Don't let them take it. I closed the folder, looked straight at her, and said one word. No. The room went still, like the air had been pulled out. Ethan stood up first. Are you serious right now? Yes. You're going to destroy this family over a building? No, I said quietly. You already did that. My mother's face hardened, cold, unrecognizable. If you walk out that door without signing, she paused. Don't come back. I picked up my bag, and for the first time in my life, I didn't hesitate. I won't. That night at 11:38 p.m., my phone buzzed. A message from her. 8 words I will never forget. You're no longer part of this family. Goodbye. And just like that, I was alone. For the first few weeks, I kept checking my phone, not because I expected an apology, but because some part of me still believed someone would reach out. My brother, my aunt. Anyone. No one did. No messages. No calls. No. Are you okay? Just silence. The kind that doesn't just fill the room, it follows you everywhere. The first holiday without them felt unreal. I sat alone in my apartment, scrolling through old photos, birthdays, dinners, smiles that suddenly looked staged. I kept asking myself the same question. Was I ever really part of that family or just useful to it? A month later, reality hit harder. My landlord raised the rent. My savings were low. And the building? It wasn't producing much yet. Half the offices were empty. 2 shops had closed after my grandfather got sick. Everyone assumed it was a gold mine, but what I inherited wasn't money. It was responsibility. I had 2 options: sell it like they wanted, or fight to keep it alive. So I chose the harder path. I learned everything from scratch: leases, repairs, taxes, negotiations. I made mistakes, expensive ones. There were nights I sat on the floor of that empty building, surrounded by peeling paint and broken lights, wondering if they were right. Maybe I wasn't capable. Maybe I should have just signed. But every time that thought crossed my mind, I remembered him, sitting in that hospital bed, looking at me like I was enough. So I kept going. 6 months later, things started to shift. A small coffee shop moved into the first floor. Then a design studio signed a lease upstairs. Slowly, the building began to breathe again. And so did I. For the first time in my life, I wasn't trying to prove anything to anyone. I was just building something that was mine. A year passed, then another. No family, no contact, and strangely, no pain anymore. Until the call. It came on a Tuesday afternoon. Unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something made me answer. Hello? Silence for a second. Then a voice I hadn't heard in 2 years. Adriana. My chest tightened instantly. My mother. Her tone was different. Soft. Careful. Like she was choosing every word. I know it's been a long time. I didn't respond. I've been thinking about you. Still nothing. Then she said it. We should talk. Not, I'm sorry. Not, I was wrong. Just, we should talk. I closed my eyes, took a breath, and asked the only question that mattered. Why now? There was a pause. Too long, too calculated. Then she said, I miss you. That's when I knew. This wasn't about me. I'll think about it, I said, and hung up. 3 days later, Ethan called. Then my aunt. Then even my cousin. One by one. Same tone, same softness, same empty words. We miss you. We should fix this. Family is important. Not one of them said. We were wrong. That's when the pattern became clear. This wasn't guilt. It was strategy. A week later, I got the invitation. Family dinner. At the same house. The same table. Like nothing had happened. I almost didn't go, but something in me needed to see it. To understand it fully. To end it properly. So I went. The moment I walked in, everything felt the same. The furniture. The smell. The photos on the wall. Like I had stepped back into a life that no longer belonged to me. They were all there. My mother. Ethan. My aunt. Smiling. Waiting. Adriana, my mother said, standing up, like she was greeting a guest, not the daughter she erased. Dinner started like a performance. Small talk. Fake laughter. Careful words. No one mentioned the past. Until dessert. My mother placed a folder on the table. Slowly. Deliberately. The same move. The same setup. We want to make things right, she said. I looked at the folder. Didn't touch it. What is it? Ethan answered this time. An opportunity. I opened it. And there it was. A contract. They had already negotiated a deal. With a developer. A massive one. Multi-million. The building. My building. They're ready to move forward, my aunt said. They just need your signature. I looked up slowly. You already agreed to this? Silence. Then my mother spoke. We did what was best for the family. I almost laughed. Again. You promised something you don't own. Ethan leaned forward. You're thinking too small. This changes everything. For all of us. There it was. Not for you. Not for us. For them. And what do I get? I asked. My mother smiled. Like she had been waiting for that. You'll be taken care of. That sentence. Those exact words. Not respected. Not acknowledged. Taken care of. Like I was something to manage. In that moment, everything became clear. They didn't come back for me. They came back for access. I closed the folder, placed it gently on the table, looked at each of them, one by one, and for the first time, I wasn't angry. I wasn't hurt. I was done. I'm not signing. The smiles disappeared instantly. Don't be ridiculous, Ethan snapped. This is bigger than you. No, I said calmly. It's exactly about me. My mother's voice hardened. We are offering you a future. I shook my head. I already built one. You're being selfish again. I leaned back slightly, studied her face, and realized something I had never allowed myself to admit before. She never saw me as a person, only as a role, the obedient daughter. The easy solution. The one who says yes, but that person didn't exist anymore. I picked up the pen, held it for a moment. They all watched, waiting, certain. Then I set it down and said 4 words. This was never yours. Silence. Heavy. Final. I stood up. No hesitation. No fear. Don't walk away again, my mother said. But this time, it didn't sound like control. It sounded like panic. I looked at her one last time. I'm not walking away. Pues. I'm moving on. And then I left. 2 weeks later, their deal collapsed. The developer pulled out because the only signature that mattered was mine. And without it, they had nothing. They tried calling again, texting, even showing up at the building. But this time, there was no door open for them. Because the truth is, they didn't lose me when I said no. They lost me the moment they thought I had no right to choose. And me? I didn't lose a family. I finally stopped being owned by one.